Hi, everybody. It's Pat Love from EXP Realty. I'm here today with Rowena List. Now, let me get her company name, Getting It Together. She's a professional organizer and AKA the declutter queen, I understand. So, welcome, Rowena.
Thank you, Pat. Nice to be on your show and nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet you too. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy lady. So why don't we get right into it and you tell me, describe getting it together.
Well, getting it together is all things organized. No matter what part of your home or your life is in a shambles or decluttered, I can help you get organized, set up systems, and stay organized.
That sounds like something everybody needs for sure. Except maybe the odd weird person. So what made you decide to start this business?
I had been in the direct selling profession for many, many years and was in senior management. And I had a team that I was helping to get successful and build their business. And I just felt like there was a missing link. And I knew I was organized and had systems in place. And I started to question whether or not my team did. And I would go to their homes and be just mortified with the fact that they could barely find a pen and paper, let alone all the other things that they needed for their business. And I started to help them get organized. And I helped friends and colleagues. And finally, I thought, okay, I just need to make a business of this. And here we are today, 25 plus years later.
They're saving everyone from themselves. Mine has been a slow learning process with being organized. The older I get, the more I figure out, oh, that'll make it easier if I do that all the time.
Yes, yeah, it's all about saving time as we get older, isn't it? We want more time and more freedom. And the way to have that is by having less stuff around you and having the stuff that you have in a system.
So let's go back a bit. Do you have anyone in your life that was maybe an inspiration in your younger years that you'd like to tell us about? Did you get any special advice from somebody?
I did, as a matter of fact. I had a friend growing up that was a owner of a Dairy Queen. And he used to put on, as he said, different hats every time he would see me. He was much older than I was. And so he would say, I'm putting on my business hat, and we would talk about business and strategies. And then he would put on his financial hat and we would talk about money management. And then he would put on his dad hat and he would say that he doesn't agree with who I was dating at the time or things like that. And so he was a big influence in my life, most definitely. Yeah, big influence.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, now I had some profound thing I was going to. Oh yes, that's what we're going to talk about. Now, part of your organizing business, you shared with me the other day when we chatted. You do something to sort of help families get ready for. Let me see, the older generation to move along, shall we say?
Right, yes, Pat, I call it estate organizing. And under the umbrella of estate organizing, most importantly is all of your papers that need to be there at the time of your passing. You know, it's not a if, it's a when. And so when you pass, my whole thing is that I want to make that as easy and streamlined as possible for the people that are left behind to take care of unwinding my life, because it is huge. You know, we come into this world with nothing and we leave with lots of complications going on.
We do, don't we?
Yeah, so I help my clients get together with what I call the binder, and the binder is for your executor or executrix. And of course, it has all the important things in it, like your will and your POA and representation agreement and many, many more things. And then it's about getting your home organized and downsizing what is no longer serving you, so that at the time of your passing, again, your family and executor isn't left with this massive undertaking of the fact that you've maybe been in your home for 50 years and you still haven't gotten rid of your kids' report cards.
I've seen a few of those circumstances in my
Yes,
career,
yes.
just a couple. So on that note, tell me a bit about found money.
Yes. Well, I have this claim to fame that I always find money. And people may have heard in the news lately that $85,000 was found in a plastic bag at the thrift shop. And they did get it back to their rightful owner, but that was because the family had just gone in, the mother passed, and the family just went in and just cleared everything out and didn't sift through it. I go through and I take time going through, because quite often people will stash money and hide money. I have found upwards of over $4,000 in a home, and I found as little as 2 pennies. This one client, she said to me, "You are not going to find any money here. Absolutely, there is no way." And I found 2 pennies. I said, "Here you go put those in your penny loafers."
That's cute. So I guess you don't get a finder's fee.
No, no, I like to give it to, it's, it just brings me such joy if I stick my hand in a pocket and I pull out $100 bill and I say to my client, "Here you go. Here's some found money for you."
There
Because
you go.
the client is there with me, Pat, unless of course they've passed or unless the family has hired me to go in and do a job. And so, the client is there. And so I just go, "Here you go, here's some money. Oh, here's some more money, put that in your pocket." And, quite often by the end of the day, their pockets are full of all kinds of treasures that I've
There you
found for
go.
them.
Yeah, that's a nice story. So our last year has been interesting for many businesses. Maybe you'd like to share how it's affected yours and how you've adapted, that maybe some other businesses can learn some useful tips.
Well, I think the big thing is to try and just go along with the flow. In the beginning, a year ago, I think most of us were so stressed out about what we were going to do and how it was going to look. And of course, that doesn't do anything for anybody, being all stressed and worried. So I took a deep breath and thought, okay, what can I do? And that's where I started helping people over the phone with their estate organizing, because that is something that, I can coach people and say, okay, go get these papers from your filing cabinet, put them in your binder. When you've done that, give me a call back and we'll work on the next thing. And just kind of go with the flow. Of course, it's always important to have a good, nest egg in the event that, nobody saw this coming, but we might fall into illness or break a limb or something like that. And we do need to have that nest egg. And that's something that from a very early age, my mentor made sure that I had set up good investments and good nest egg.
Well, it's really good advice. And for those of us who go through life with the, it won't happen to me kind of thing, I think because that pandemic did not miss a person. I think none of us could say, "Oh, that won't happen to me," whether we got COVID or we didn't get COVID. It still, I think, made us, it was definitely a lesson in a lot of things for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. So let me think. Okay. Now, Park Bench is a website about supporting community and local businesses. Could you share a little bit about how you've been supporting your local community and businesses?
Yes, I shop local, and quite often I like to have car-free days. And so those will be days that I will walk to the local, fresh produce store, the bakery, the fishmonger, and I'll just get my groceries while out walking. And that way I stay within my community. And as well as I'm very active on social media, and I do like to put out big shout outs to people that within my community or other communities. But if somebody's done a job well, I like to put a shout out on social media for them.
Well, that's great. That's great. So is there anything else you'd like to share today?
Well, having your place organized gives you a lot more time. And I encourage people to think about what it is that they would do with that extra time. For an example, Pat, it takes 40% less time to clean an organized home. And on my website, gettingittogether.ca, I do have a free ebook that is downloadable to all of your listeners. And they can simply go to the website, download it, and get their top 10 tips on getting organized and staying organized. As well as I'd like to offer each one of your listeners a complimentary 15-minute discovery session. So that would be where we would discuss their needs and challenges, and I would give them a tip or two to help them get started.
Well, isn't that a lovely offer? Thank you for that. I'm sure that many people could take advantage of that. I thank you so much for today, Rowena. You shared in that little bit of time lots of great advice, really, that people can take away. And it's making me think, oh, what have I got to get done? It's like when I watch the hoarder shows and I get scared. Oh, please don't be that. Please don't turn into that. But I learned something that over the pandemic, about getting little tasks done. And I don't know if this is something that you would approve of. I set a timer. For something that I really don't want to do, the thing you hate. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I'll set a timer. I'll say, okay, at least I'll go spend 15 minutes on it. So I'll set a timer. I'll tell Alexa or Google, set me a timer, and I'll go and do it. And often, and this is shocking, I get the thing done.
Well, because you're staying focused to the task. And I have on my website, 15 minutes to freedom. That's kind of my thing, where I give 15-minute tips. And I figure, yeah, you can stick the nose to the grindstone for 15 minutes. 15 minutes used to be how long people had for coffee breaks and so forth in the workplace. And so quite often too, what'll happen, Pat, is that you start working on that task for 15 minutes and then you think this isn't so bad. And then you work a little bit longer.
Yeah, and you get it done.
Focused.
Yeah. Exactly. So once again, Rowena, her business is Getting It Together, and I'll tag her information, her website and her phone number contact at the end of this interview. So I appreciate everybody listening, and I appreciate Rowena taking the time to talk to me. And I look forward to seeing you one day in person, Rowena.
Yes, us as well, Pat. Maybe I can help you with getting a house ready for going on the market, because that'll sell in record time when it's all decluttered, and your sellers will be thrilled when it comes time to move, because they'll have a stress-free move.
That's true. I've seen it many times.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Your show.
Thanks. Have a great day.